Should President Trump and Congress really pass a big, beautiful bill that is full of stuff that Doge hasn't gotten to? A hospital down in Texas says they racked up a $120 million bill from illegal immigrants. I want to go through this and so much more. To help me, I have Jesse Kelly. Jesse, thank you so much for joining me.
Stephen, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, thank you for having me on your show. I posted that on my channel, 180,000 views. People seem to like us talking about Jasmine Crockett. If we have time in this hour, I'll bring her up again. I want to get your thoughts. Doge has gotten a lot of press for their discoveries. Many of them have been mind-blowing. Many of them, I believe, have the potential to cripple the cheating and the bad behavior of the Democrat Party. Do you think that Republicans should be pushing to pass this big, beautiful bill when the American people have now had their eyes open to just how much fraud and waste there is?
No, it's a terrible idea. So let's talk about what Doge is and what Doge is not. First of all, Doge is very good. I'm a fan, right? But what Doge is not is it's not cutting the fraud. And I really think we really need to get away from this term waste, fraud, and abuse. It's not waste. When they send $300 million to dead people for small business loans, it's not waste. Someone's stealing. They're stealing. Right? This is fraud. The largest criminal organization on the planet is the United States government. They steal billions, trillions, and trillions of your dollars. Doge, its value is not in cutting that because it can't really cut that. Its value is in exposing that. Now the American people wake up every day and they pull out their phones and you, whoa, my gosh, we were funding what? And that's a good thing, right? It's a good thing. I applaud what they're doing. But the dirty little secret is that all that money was authorized. All that money was allocated and authorized by the United States Congress. And how the United States Congress does this is they pass big bills, big, beautiful bills or whatever they love big bills. People complain, oh, why don't they pass single issue bills? Well, they don't pass single issue bills because they're thieves and they're trying to find ways to steal your money and hand it to their friends and political allies. So instead of passing a bill that, funds the border wall, instead, no, we have to do a $1 trillion omnibus bill. And then Congressman Jerk, he can send in a request and she can send a request. And how do we end up with a Congress that authorizes $50 million to make frogs gay in Guatemala somewhere? Well, Congressman Idiot from some random district threw it into a bill that Congress authorized, and now his cousin's brother's uncle happens to get rich on the DC think tank that teaches the frogs how to be gay in Guatemala. It's a gigantic system of theft that is pillaging the American taxpayer, and that system of theft does not change with a big bill. What's happening right now is disastrous. Actually, it's horrible.
Yeah. I got to tell you, it's refreshing to have somebody else call taxation theft. Because as a libertarian, I just feel like I want the government out of my life, get out of my business, get out of my family. I know that they have to be there in some instances, but when Democrats say we need to tax you more, what they're really saying is we have even more programs, even more ways to steal your money. So I appreciate you bringing that up. So let me just clarify what I think I heard you say. We're getting these big bills because that's what they want to give us. If they really wanted single focus bills, they would just do it. But instead, they go back and forth. Oh, neither party will allow us to do this. So we have to do an omnibus bill where we pass this 3,000-page bill that nobody's read in the dark of night, sometimes 2, 3 in the morning, Washington, D.C. time. They're giving us exactly what they want to give us. Is that wrong?
That's exactly right. And that's why they always wait to the deadline. Have you ever noticed it's always a deadline? Oh, we have to pass the budget. We have to pass this budget. We're up against the deadline. We have to raise the debt limit. If we don't do it by Tuesday, the whole world's going to end. And everyone seems to look around every time. We always do the same game. Well, why'd you wait so long? Well, why'd you wait so long? Waiting so long is the point. You wait so long to create an emergency, and then it gives you all the excuse in the world you need to go to the American people and say, well, we waited so long. Now we're up against the deadline. Here's 3,000 pages. You have 5 minutes to look at the whole thing. Oh, is it going to fund all the corruption? Oh, I guess maybe it will, maybe it won't, but we don't have any choice. We waited until the end. It's horrible, but we don't want to do the long, ongoing, miserable, boring work that it will take to actually save the country. because we find ourselves in this terrible situation. What we want is we want Trump to fix it or Elon to fix it, because that sounds very simple, right? No, just elect Donald Trump. He'll go in and fix everything. Okay, well, Trump has Elon with him. We'll just send in the Doge team and we'll save some money. That's not how that works at all. To save the country and to save the money and to save our financial system and our way of life, it involves every single American getting extremely involved in the United States House of Representatives. You probably have a GOP rep who needs to be primaried and replaced. You undoubtedly, almost undoubtedly, you have a useless senator who needs to be primaried and replaced. But all that stuff sounds hard and boring. You know, can I just throw on a MAGA hat every 4 years and fix everything? No, that's not how it works at all.
Yeah. Well, I'm in Utah. We just got rid of Mitt Romney, but I'm not sure that the Curtis guy we replaced is going to be much better. He seems to be bought off by the environmental groups. Okay, just yesterday I read that the government gave $660 million in government loans to people over the age of 115. Is anyone in Washington, D.C. going to just follow the money? I mean, they say this all the time, right? You want to find the crime, follow the money. Why aren't they going and saying, hey, you cashed this check or you took in this wired money and start arresting some people? There has to be people on the other side of that financial transaction.
Yeah, I try to explain this to people. This is exactly why I was just going off about that word waste, Stephen, and how it grades on me when people on our side use that term. When you use that term, you're providing, unknowingly, you're providing a built-in excuse for the thieves who are stealing from you. That's not waste, what you just described there, $600 some million. That's theft. Have you ever applied for a loan? I'm sure you have, Stephen, but has everybody ever applied for a loan, whether it's a home loan or a small business loan or something like that? Did you find that process to be really quick and easy? Is it something you could do by accident? I was clicking through and I clicked on the wrong button and boop, I applied for a loan. Is that how it was? Nope. That's not how it works at all. You have to go through all this background and social security numbers. And nowadays it's financial statements and everything else. To apply for a loan is a long, arduous process that involves a lot of input. So if they've shelled out $600 million in small business loans, it's because somebody did it. Somebody, some thief did it, and he did it on purpose, and he stole $600 million of your money. And what you just said is 100% true. My wife is an auditor by trade. She's a stay-at-home mom now, but that's what she did. She's an accountant. She does auditing. And the stories she used to tell me were laughable at people who were caught stealing, because they're caught every single time. Because in this modern era, everything is not only traceable, it's easily traceable. You just trace this to there and that to there, and everything leaves a trail, and it ended up in your brother's bank account. You're a thief. You're going to prison. It's not just that it's traceable, it's cake. That money, someone applied for it, took it, spent it, and they're living it up while everybody watching this is working a second job, watching the price of groceries go through the roof. There's somebody on a yacht down in Miami with cash he stole from you. And it's not waste. Stop using that freaking term. It's a crime committed by the largest criminal organization on the planet, the United States government. And we will find out if Pam Bondi is worth anything at all, because that person better go to prison. I don't demand it in 5 minutes. I understand that these things, investigations, indictments, and things like that take time. I get that at all. But if 4 years from now we're having this same discussion, she's a failure.
Yeah, no, I agree. You made me think about the last time I got a loan. I mean, I had to hand over years of tax returns, financial statements from my business, my wife's income, basically a blood donation. They wanted everything. And what they're doing is they're trying to weigh whether you're a good risk or a bad risk, right? So now let's go away from the criminal and let's go up a level in the pyramid scheme, right? Go to the employee and go, okay, why did you give $250,000 taxpayer-backed loan to a 14-year-old who will never return this money, will never be able to repay? Why did you approve a loan to somebody of this age? I want to know from the employees that hit the approval button, why did you think that person was a good risk? We know that that's not really happening. They're probably just funding family members or something, but at least let's go after the criminals, and then let's take it up a step. Who approved the loans?
I had somebody, former federal agent, reach out to me and talk me off the ledge. It was actually today. My blood pressure has been going through the roof about the lack of government people being arrested. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm fine with arresting gangbangers and drug dealers and stuff like that. I couldn't possibly be less impressed with all these press conferences of we found 100 pounds of cocaine and arrested 4 cartel guys. Government people have to be arrested. That's the problem plaguing the country. That's what has to happen. And I've been frustrated by the lack of that so far. And I had a federal agent let me know that Elvis Chan, for example, he's that FBI special agent. I'm sure everybody watching knows Elvis Chan, that FBI special agent who was liaising, what a great word that is, between the FBI and social media companies in order to censor out things Democrats didn't want, including the Hunter Biden laptop story. I have ranted over and over again that Elvis Chan needs to be in prison for the rest of his life. When you take your position as special agent in the FBI and you use it to ensure Joe Biden could win an election or Donald Trump won an election, if you use that position and that power for elections, you should never, ever, ever, ever breathe free air again, ever. That is a crime that is equal to murder, in my opinion. That's how bad that kind of corruption is. The former federal agent who I talked to let me know Elvis Chan was placed on personal leave. Hopefully and likely, Elvis Chan is one of those middle guys you were just talking about who knows who was in charge, who knows where the bodies are buried. And in order to keep his butt out of prison, Elvis Chan's giving up names. He's giving up, just like, again, we're trying to take down the Italian mafia, only it's the United States government. What do? You find a guy who's going to rat out the boss. The former federal agent told me, give it some time. Bet you he's singing like a canary, and we will see government arrests. Now, I don't know if that's true or not because we haven't seen them, right? I don't know. But if a year from now, you and I, Stephen, are having this same conversation, then we know they're not doing anything.
Yeah. Tom Homan yesterday alluded to, they said, why aren't you just going after people in these sanctuary cities? He said, just hold on. Big stuff's happening. So again, I'm willing to be patient, but at some point you need to see something. Okay. Democrats keep saying Donald Trump, Republicans, they're going to destroy Social Security. It's kind of, already being destroyed after decades of mismanagement. But then you have Doge finding that there's like 20 million people over the age of 115. Just in the last week, they shut down 7 million fake people receiving Social Security. They estimate that that's about $12 billion a month or $144 billion that they just saved. But again, why is nobody going to those 7 million houses and saying, you've cashed a Social Security check for 90 months, prove that it was yours or you're going to jail? I mean, we all cheer when James O'Keefe knocks on doors and says, hey, there's been $18,000 worth of donations to Act Blue in your name. Was that you? And they say no. And we go, oh my gosh, we got it. But why are they not going to the people receiving these fraudulent Social Security checks? I mean, 12 billion a month is a big number.
Well, I don't know that they're not, but but I don't know that they are.
Okay,
I'll put it to you this way. Look, we don't know whether what we're dealing with right now is a bunch of show ponies or a bunch of workhorses, right? And we will find out over a long enough period of time. Are we being treated right now to simply wonderful headlines that we love to see? We found this waste. Aren't you mad about this waste? Look at this Social Security to keep you and I, toss us a little table scrap, give us a little morsel of something and keep us happy. Is that what this is? It could be. I don't know. Or are they knocking on doors as we speak? Is this an ongoing investigation? Are they currently sweeping up a bunch of people in a gigantic organized crime sweep? It's not fast to take down the American mafia. It won't be fast to take down the American government. I don't know. We're not going to know after 100 days. We'll know in a while, though. We'll know at some point in time.
Yeah, I'm hoping. Okay, so you did your first 100. You got the border. You did everything you could to get this Russia-Ukraine thing, get Israel under control, not start a war with Iran. We'll see. But in the next 200 days, could we please see some justice? I think that would be a good use of the next 100 days. I read today that a Texas hospital has filed a complaint to the federal government saying, we are going bankrupt. In just 1 month, illegal immigrants racked up $121 million in medical bills, and none of them are paying. Now they want a bailout from the government. That's just one hospital. Imagine how many hospitals. Your thoughts. I mean, did Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and the people, the nefarious people behind this invasion on our country, did they think that there was just unlimited amounts of cash that eventually this wouldn't catch up with them? When is the last time you checked on your home title, the legal document that proves it's your house? If you're like me, the answer is never. Well, guess what? Thanks to AI and the cyber world, scammers can steal your home title and your equity. Here's how it works. Criminals forge your signature on a document like this. They then use a fake notary stamp, pay a small fee to the county recorder, and boom, they have access to the equity in your home. Now, they don't want your house. They just want the money. They take out equity loans against your property, and you don't find out about it for 90 to 120 to 180 days. And the next thing you know, your life is a legal and financial nightmare. That's why you need to work with Home Title Lock in order to protect your property. Now, gratefully, I have partnered with Home Title Lock. They are great at what they do. You can use promo code Gardner at HometitleLock.com to make sure that your title is still in your name. You'll also get a free title history report and a 14-day trial of their $1 million triple lock protection. That's 24/7 monitoring on your title, urgent alerts to any changes, and if fraud should happen, they'll spend up to $1 million to fix it. Go to HometitleLock.com now. Use promo code Gardner. That's HometitleLock.com, promo code Gardner.
No, it won't ever catch up with them. These people get off scot-free after destroying our country. What's happening now is just a more extreme version of what's been happening for years. The American people do not fully grasp how much more they pay for all of their health care because of illegals and the way they abuse the healthcare system in this country. If you live anywhere in Southern California, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, this is a very, very common theme where illegals will use our hospital system as the family doctor. They'll use the emergency room as the family doctor. A buddy of mine on Border Patrol used to tell me all the time, one of his buddies had a baby, showed up at the ER. ER was full, waiting room was full, only he didn't have time to change out of his uniform. By the time he got done visiting my buddy and came back out, the ER was empty because all the illegals saw his Border Patrol uniform and they left. Illegals show up and use the hospital as the family doctor. Because the United States of America is suicidal, we don't arrest them. We give them health care, we give it to them for free, and then we just simply let them go. Now, what we should be doing if we were any kind of a sane country is, yes, of course, treat them if they need medical treatment, and then verify their citizenship status. If they're not citizens, immediately arrest them and deport them as soon as they're done in the hospital. This would eliminate the problem almost immediately because they would stop using our hospital system the way they do. But because the United States of America has been infected with communist liberals and weak low-T Republicans, we can't have a system like that in the country. We have to treat the United States like it's some kind of ridiculous suicide pact where we're the world's open sewer and every barbarian can just show up here on the doorstep and get endless medical treatment paid for by the American taxpayer. I actually sympathize with the hospital because they're forced to do this by law. They're forced to give them health care. They're not allowed to arrest them afterwards. They never pay. That's what they never, ever pay. You can chase them all day long. They'll do, sorry, I don't blah. And then the hospital's left out. Well, what do these hospitals do? Well, they simply jack up all the costs for you and me. Everyone who pays for health care in this country pays way more than they should because illegals are stealing from you. It's a fact.
Wow, Jesse, that is a really, really good insight. I didn't consider that. I remember in elementary school, I can't remember who it was, but somebody came in, they gave a talk about that you shouldn't shoplift. Not only is it wrong, but when the store owners lose that money, they have to raise prices to make up for theft, right? I never considered that we're all paying through the nose because of just, $121 million in 1 month at one hospital. I would love to multiply that out and see what that is every single month from all of the hospitals. It's disgusting. But you also bring up a really good point. Okay, you need stitches from welding under the table illegally. We're going to get you those stitches or take care of your burn or whatever. And then boom, you're hauled out of this country and we save a bunch of money. I had Michelle Tafoya on yesterday, and I said, isn't it interesting that they didn't care when Biden flew hundreds of thousands of people into the country in the dead of night and lied, but now that Trump wants to fly them out, they're like, do you know how much an airplane ticket costs? Like, that's what you're getting hung up on? The cost of an airplane ticket versus keeping someone here with healthcare, food, shelter, insurance, cell phone. Like, it's just such backwards thinking.
Well, it's not that they're necessarily backwards. They're lying. People have a hard time accepting the morality or lack thereof of communists and how they think about things. The right is terrible at this because it's a very human nature thing to project your morality onto other people. We all do this, right? So I don't steal. I'm a very horrible person. I'm not saying I'm a good person, but I hate theft. I don't steal at all. I would never steal. You could leave $1 million in front of me and come back 10 years. I'd never touch it. I can't do it. I hate theft. It's human nature that I would look at the guy I'm looking at right now walking on the sidewalk and assume that he probably doesn't steal either. If I gave him a 5, he'd probably give it right back. That's probably not true at all. We do this with the communists on the left all the time. And you can tell we do this because we love to point out their hypocrisy. Well, they said they're against this, but you don't understand. They're trying to be hypocritical. They are ordered to lie. It's not that they're okay with lying. Lying is something they believe they have to do in order to sell their sick, demonic religion to the public. If they tell the truth, they get in trouble. That's how you get in trouble when you're a communist. Remember when Joe Biden gave his State of the Union address and Marjorie Taylor Greene was pitching a fit about something out there, and Joe Biden, because he has a dementia brain, called him an illegal immigrant. Now that's the president of the United States of America. What happened after that? Joe Biden was forced to go on a media tour apologizing for calling an illegal. Why? Because communists not only lie, they rigidly police their lies. And if you tell the truth, you will find yourself in quite a pickle. You are supposed to lie. You can call them hypocrites all day long. They want to be hypocrites. You're not insulting them. You're insulted if I call you a hypocrite. The communist is not insulted at all. Rules do not apply to him. He's fighting a revolution. The rules are only for you. The truth is only for you. That's your problem, not his problem. He does not share your morality.
Yeah. I distinctly remember that because there was that girl in Georgia that was raped and killed for 18 minutes, and it was recorded. And he showed no remorse that she was violated and killed. What did he show remorse over? Shoot, I called him an illegal versus a migrant. So disgusting and pathetic. Okay, when I was on your show, we talked about Jasmine Crockett, just a bright, shining star in the Democrat Party, maybe rising faster on the horizon than even AOC. She said in an interview on MSNBC that basically the American people are crazy because she never saw Joe Biden's mental decline. She only saw a very brilliant politician. Is this just communist lies like you were just saying?
Yes, they're ordered to do that. There's a line from Catherine Mayer. She is the head of NPR. She recently had to give some testimony. She's the blonde woman, had to give some testimony in front of the House or Senate. I forget which one it was. But there's a line, I play it on my show all the time, where she's giving a speech and she says to the crowd, this is a public speech, she says, I think our reverence for the truth has become a distraction from finding a consensus and getting things done. Now think about that line. Our reverence for the truth has become a distraction from finding consensus and getting things done. Back to what we were talking about. Truth is something good people care about. And because good people care about it, they project their morality onto the communists and think the communists care about it. The communists don't care about honesty or the truth or any of that other stuff. They care about the revolution. And so you have to lie at all times, in order to fight the revolution. That's why communists are so okay with violence. You hate it, at least I hope you do. I hate it. I despise political violence. I don't want anyone hurt. But why do they not hate it? Why is it even people, even Democrats who don't commit acts of violence, why is violent language so common with these people? They'll tell jokes with their friends about shooting Donald Trump. It doesn't take long. Spend 5 minutes on social media. You'll find a Democrat, a normal Democrat, posting things like, someone should post his address. What is that? It's a threat of violence. We'll hurt you. Keep it up. We'll hurt you. Did you see the people who were firebombing and keying Teslas across the country? Were some of those people whacked out training nut jobs? Of course they were. A lot of those people, established, older, in their 50s, nice clothes, driving a nice car. What are they? Democrats, communists, revolutionaries. Violence? Well, that's part of fighting the revolution. So when you see a Tesla, doesn't matter that you're a 55-year-old professor with a career and a job. It's just in your nature. You pull out your keys and you start keying the thing. It's how these people are. They don't share your morality. And if you think they do, you'll always be shocked and you'll always be behind.
Yeah. All right. Let me get you out on this. I appreciate you coming on the show. I know how busy you are. In a recent meeting, Tulsi Gabbard, the director of national intelligence, said that Fauci was about to be prosecuted for lying to Congress when he got this magical auto pen pardon. She posited or guessed that he had requested it, but they don't know who really gave it. Do you think in the future those auto pen pardons will go away? Do you think anything will ever happen to Fauci, even if it's just on a state level?
No, nothing's ever going to happen to Fauci. A big part of that is, look, if you wanted something to happen to Fauci legally, right? If you wanted him arrested or prosecuted or something like that, what you would need is you would need complete unity on the Republican side. But people forgot, I have not forgotten, how complicit Republicans were in all the evil crap that came with COVID, in the lockdowns and pushing that poison shot and all the other crap. Republicans were standing on stage right next to Democrats, bragging about it, get your booster shot. They're all on videotape, 15 days to slow the spread, all that stuff. So because so many of those fingers will point back towards Republicans, you're not going to get any unity amongst Republicans to actually take down that vicious little troll and all the things he did to the American people. It won't happen. It grinds my gears to no end. I want justice served for all the people who had their lives destroyed, had to say goodbye to their parents on Zoom call, kids who got their school ruined. I want all of them to have justice, but justice doesn't come on this planet lots of the time. That's part of the human existence, I guess.
Yeah, dang it. All right. Well, thank you for sharing your insight on that and all the other stories. If people want to catch your show, where can I point them? I want to point them towards your X account, but where else should I point them?
Yeah, look, honestly, we put so much of our stuff on YouTube, to be honest with you now. Jesse Kelly DC on YouTube. I mean, that's a great place to find really most of the stuff we put out. Jesse Kelly DC on YouTube.
Okay, I'll put that down below. Jesse, thank you so much for coming on. We'll have you on again. I appreciate it. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thanks for having me, brother. Appreciate you very much.